Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of this Thursday afternoon. It is the 15th of December and the volume 2 of the Netflix docuseries has started streaming today. The press is full of it in the UK and also the US. Not going down very well in the US for Harry and Meghan. Interestingly, I've just done a reading on that. But now I'm going to read on the fact that the royals are not going to comment. They refuse to comment about the accusations, the claims that William screamed, Charles lied, the late Queen sat and watched at the Sandringham summit while Harry went along to argue his case for half in, half out, and got absolutely nowhere, got told what he could go and do with half in, half out, basically. Let's remind you, before we get into the reading, that this is a tarot reading for entertainment purposes or just my opinion. Also, for educational purposes, we are looking at archetypal families here with the royal family and learning lessons about how families deal with drama. And in this case, the approach the family seems to be taking, and this is what the subject of this reading is, grey rocking. And grey rocking, have I told you that I've got the new Palladini tarot out on the tarot table? I can't remember actually. It's a very, very hot and humid afternoon, and it's kind of melting my brain a bit too. But just in case, as I shuffle, let's talk about grey rocking, because grey rocking is a technique that is taught to victims of narcissism. It's a technique where you basically just behave like a rock in a storm, in a stormy sea. You don't move, you don't flinch, you don't react, you don't say anything, you say as little as possible, you engage as little as possible, you give back as little as possible. And it's something that people who have narcissistic tendencies cannot stand, because they want response. They want you to be hurt or upset or infatuated or any of those things. So when you don't give them their fuel, when you don't give them that response, they get very agitated and can really basically self-destruct, or they can decide that they'll go off and get their fuel somewhere else, leave you alone and go and bother someone else who is more responsive, reactive. So it's a technique, as I say, that is taught to people. It's quite widely known now because narcissism is now a thing that we're all quite familiar with. So I want to know in this reading if the royals, cards are not all face down. It doesn't matter. I want to know if this is a response that the royals have been advised to follow by professionals. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at the impact on Harry. How does Harry feel? Because he seems to be wanting to provoke some kind of response from them. They seem to be acting out like this to get a response, or to get you come back, all is forgiven. We'll have you back. We'll give you half of whatever we have, just to shut you up. And how is it impacting Meghan? How does she feel about this refusal to respond? And will it provoke them push them into more kind of erratic behavior? How are they going to respond themselves to this grey rocking? The grey rocking that I am speculating is what the royals are doing. Pure speculation on my part. Got the 5 cards out. Interesting underlying energies. Temperance in reverse. This is the opposite of grey rocking. Temperance upright is patience, is fortitude, is being calm, not overreacting, being angelic, staying on the high road, trying to heal situations, trying to create harmony. In the reverse, it's the devil, really. The angel in reverse is the devil. It's erratic behavior, it's outrageous behavior, it's wild, it's obsessive, it's angry, it's lies, it's tormented, it's addicted, it's toxic. And it's impatient as well. It can't wait for something to happen. And that would be the Harry and Meghan energy that I am interpreting this Temperance card to represent. This literally, this turbulence, this torrent of abuse that is coming as a result of this Netflix docuseries, the mockumentary, as I like to call it. So let's see the heart of this matter, the fact that the royals are refusing to retaliate. They're just sitting quietly. We got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse is about letting go, losing control. And this to me says what is going on. Upright, you're hanging on to your stuff, your money, your time, your patience, you're calm, you're feeling very secure, you're feeling a little bit threatened, so you've got to hang on to this stuff. You've got to be in control of a situation. It's very much a controlling energy, the Four of Pentacles, but when it's in the reverse, you lose control. You drop those pentacles, you become unstable. This is all telling me, this is Harry and Meghan's energy again. It's this erratic energy, it's this out of control energy that the royals are dealing with by refusing to deal with it, basically. I'm losing my voice today. I've explained already. I have Impepo. It's a sacred herb in the room. I'm not burning it. I have it in the room, and it's affecting my throat. But I feel today, for some reason, that I need it with me. It calls the ancestors, it detoxes spaces as well. It's a herb that's used here for smudging. And so it's smudging me as well as the cards and everything else that's going on. I needed a little bit of support out there in wherever the higher dimensions, where Impepo goes and speaks to the ancestors. So that's what's going on. So my throat is opening and closing as I'm doing these readings today. Why are the royals doing this? Have they been advised that this is a good strategy, or is this just a personal thing? What is going on? We've got the King of Cups in reverse. Both of them, both of the royals reflected by this King Charles, the Scorpio, William, Prince of Wales, the Cancerian. We have got two men who are water sign men who have decided to withdraw their empathy and their emotion from a situation. It's not telling me that they've been advised to do this. That was my speculation. I'm not getting, yes, absolutely, the experts are saying you must do this. Possibly they have been, but advised this, but it seems to be more their own decision. And obviously they have their own wisdom. They don't need necessarily to go off and get expert advice at this stage in their lives. They've possibly dealt with this for long enough that they know exactly what to do, and that the fact that they don't respond is the best road for them to take. And it was the Queen's attitude as well, and they seem to be following through on it, just withdrawing, getting cold. The King of Cups, when it's in reverse, is a cold energy. It's detached, it's unemotional, it's indifferent. They might not be indifferent behind the scenes. They might be very hurt, they might be very upset, but they are appearing to be unmoved. And how is it affecting the Harkles? Is it rattling the Harkles, or do they not care? Harry first. How does Harry feel about this seemingly indifference? We've got the Queen of Swords. I think it's making him more strident and more vicious. The Queen of Swords is that cold energy. Is that I think with my head, not my heart. I make very shrewd decisions. I'm wise. I'm very intelligent. But I am unmoved. I think he is reminded of his grandmother. With this card, she was, of course, the Queen of Swords in her official birthday energy, air sign energy, quite different to her native Taurus self. The two don't sit together very comfortably. If you've got a lot of Gemini in your chart, having a lot of Taurus in your chart can be quite difficult. It's often that way with adjacent signs. They sit uneasily together, some worse than others, astrologically. But I think that he thinks that they are being very cold and very cruel and ruthless. That's how he sees it. And that's how he sees basically the royal family, as cold and cruel and ruthless. He may have decided that that is how his grandmother was, even though he said he was her favourite and the cheeky chappy and could make her laugh, and she would tell him things she couldn't confide in anyone else about, all that nonsense, all that rot, making sure that she had the right people around her. I think he's changed his tune and he now sees this is hostile and cruel. How does Meghan feel? Meghan is going to keep throwing insults their way. According to this card, the Eight of Rods, the Eight of Wands, it's going to fuel the flames. She's going to keep on with her assaults, her narrative, throwing those darts, those poison barbs the way of the royal family, hoping that they hit their mark. It's a rushing energy. It's an unblocking energy. She's already threatening that she's found her diaries and she's going to write her own autobiography at some stage. Harry's got his coming out in a few weeks. Hers, she has threatened. that she could write much worse. It's not going to stop her. It is going to provoke her. And so the saga continues, basically, with that Eight of Wands. And what is going to be the outcome of this approach by King Charles and Prince William? Is it going to provoke, we can see it's provoking her. Is it going to push the Harcolls into even wilder allegations and narratives? Or are they going to have a sit and think about this and wonder if it's worthwhile? Yeah, it's going to push them over the edge. Two of Pentacles, it is. This is not a huge card, but it's a card of overwhelm and unbalance, being out of control. You've got already an out of control card here with the Four of Pentacles, and with the major out of control card here with the Temperance card in reverse. It's going to tip them over the edge so that they become even more unbalanced and more erratic, overwhelmed. The Two of Pentacles is traditionally overwhelm. That you make the wrong choices, you prioritize the wrong things, and you run out of energy, and you run out of money, and you run out of patience and resilience. And so the Two of Pentacles, it's not a huge card, it's not the Death card or the Tower or anything like that, but it is wearing them down. And that's good. That's good. They are in self-preservation mode now, our Kings of Cups. They are protecting themselves and making sure that they don't engage. And here is where the trouble is, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, this kind of overwhelm, this erratic energy, unbalanced. And they both seem to be quite unbalanced, and this is pushing them even further. That is your reading. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.